What is up, guys? Maccabee Speed coming at you. This episode is all about shotguns and the 3 new offerings that I have for you guys to go ahead and check out. Not going to go ahead and get to a range segment on this. This is just going to be a strictly benchtop review comparing and contrasting 3 of the top offerings in the shotgun category. First offering that we got to go ahead and bring to the table is something that you guys may have seen me build recently if you're a fan of the channel and subscribed. Which at this point you really should be by now, right? You should be by now. It's almost 100k deep. Come on, subscribe. We have the ever absolutely imposing second generation 32-inch barrel Zeus Tactical. Well, it's not really a Zeus Tactical, but it is a Zeus with a tactical setup from AEA Precision pellets on it. It saved me a little bit of cash as far as using what I already had, as opposed to buying a repackaged Zeus Tactical that didn't really have any valve improvements or anything else over the previous generation, and kept some cash in my pocket. Anytime that I could take an older gen and give it an updated look for less money, that's probably the route that I'm going to go. My wife is pretty much like my own personal Doge, right? Keeping all the waste, fraud, and abuse out of my budget. So she was a strong proponent of being able to use what I already had versus spend the $1,500–1,600 for a new Zeus Tactical. Now, when you look at the raw size footprint, you're going to know that this thing is going to be absolutely weighty. So even though this does generate about 1,500 foot-pounds of energy, which is on that same par level with an actual traditional powder-burning shotgun, the single-shot functionality and sheer weight, size, and physical difficulty for usage as far as lugging it through the field or potentially having to go tactical in your own home just might not be the best tool for the job. Now, make no mistake, as far as air-powered shotguns are concerned, there is no better tool power-wise. But weight-wise, this thing's a monstrosity. This is easily 12 to 15 pounds, maybe more than 15 pounds. This is easily 12 pounds. This system is significantly light, easily half the weight of the Zeus, but it doesn't even make half the power with these cartridges. Even if each one of these cartridges made 300 foot-pounds of energy, which is like absolutely ludicrous for me to think without having tested, I don't know, right? It's just not even half what a traditional powder-burning shotgun would make. Inside of that, anything over about 100 foot-pounds of energy is pretty much sure shot lethal with the right shot placement, so it's not a toy. At the same time, you have to look at the sheer power difference between the full-size Zeus and the cartridge-based Harpoon. Now, once you put these cartridges in the Harpoon, you're going to get 2 shots. And the beauty of the Harpoon is you actually get a select fire system. You got the give 'em hell switch, and you got the give 'em one switch. I have no punctures in these burst discs right now. And if I just go ahead and flip this to the number 2 on the give 'em hell switch here, it's going to go ahead and fire both pins at the same time, which would mean that both barrels would fire if they were charged. In that sense, it is a true double barrel shotgun in the sense that both barrels can be dumped out with one trigger pull. Now, some of the advantages of the Harpoon, even though it makes less physical horsepower than its bigger brother, the Zeus, it's got to be the modular feel and the lightweight handling characteristics of the smaller overall footprint that this brings to the table. I also think the idea of having a secondary follow-up shot really does matter. If you are on the single shot switch, you'd be able to incrementally go ahead and choose 1 and 2 shots at the point you felt like you most needed them, with the best aim that you wanted to go ahead and put on target. That follow-up shot without the need to reload might be the difference between success and failure in a defensive engagement. Now, contrary to the Zeus, because this does run on cartridges, it's actually very hand pump friendly also. I was able to fill the standard cartridges for the Harpoon with my hand pump with absolutely no problem. It took about 50 pumps, and I was able to go ahead and get one standard cartridge to approximately 4,500 psi. Now, I know they're rated for 5,000 psi, but why push it to the limit, right? I mean, it's a pressure vessel real close to your face with no DOT stamp on it. So do what you want, all right? That's right, gentlemen. The third option here that I have for you guys to go ahead and take a look at, purchased from my favorite place to go ahead and buy guns, Asp Armory in Vacaville, California. It's been my very own Mossberg Maverick 88. And, you know, honestly, the Mossberg Maverick 88 is one of the most venerable pump action shotguns that exists on the market today. Extremely reliable, and I didn't just go off, you know, and choose the standard plain Jane black one. I did go ahead and get the flat dark earth on this. And I paid the exact sticker price that you guys saw, $289 before taxes and fees. Feel really good about my purchase. A lot of people have done really well with this exact model of shotgun, and I know it to be personally extremely reliable. Then there's a psychological factor too, right? I think a lot of people rely on this specific style of home defense because there is the psychological factor. When you cock the Zeus, yeah, you know what that sound is, but it's not really super recognizable. This, again, not really the most recognizable sound. And then we move over to this. That's a very recognizable sound that stops crime before it happens. So for me personally, this specific tool supersedes both of these other tools just on paper and bench racing them in my hands as far as a home defense option. If I had no firearm options for whatever reason, I would definitely go with the AEA Harpoon over the AEA Zeus, once again for that backup shot stated reason. Also, you can't overlook the fact that it's seriously easier to handle. That's literally half the weight. So just go ahead and summarize everything up for you, real condensed, real tight, small package style. We've got the Zeus 72 caliber 12 gauge. This is approximately $1,500 as pictured, $1,600 as pictured. We've got the AEA Harpoon double barrel 12 gauge Magnum. This is approximately $500, $600 maybe if you add the accessories, as tested. And then we've got the Mav 88, which is $289 as tested. Now, a secondary piece of the puzzle here is a secondary package that I'm actually a little bit more excited about than the first, because this does go ahead and facilitate multiple functions for me, right? Got a cool strap, and it's also got the elastic loops on it that go ahead and hold extra shells, but it's got sling stud mounts on it also. So for me personally, even though this is kind of a simple upgrade, the low cost to get into the game as well as the added functionality for that small price point really made it worth it to me. Let's go ahead and get this installed. Sick. It's interesting. I don't know whether I'm supposed to have the actual shotgun loops towards the front of the gun or towards the back of the gun. I'm sure somebody in the comments is going to tell me. So I'm going to go ahead and put it towards the back of the gun for now. And if I'm wrong, I'm sure, like I said, once again, you guys will correct me. Is pretty cool. Does it interfere? That's the big thing. Does it interfere with anything? And how would I wear this? Honestly, I'm so new with firearms that I don't even know, like, once this is all set up, other than being able to just like ruck it around on my back and hold extra shells, like how would I sling up on this? If somebody could throw down a link and show me exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, that would be great, because my experience level, not the same with the firearms as it is with the air guns, right? We're all learning here together. Let's get some shells in here and load it up. Some tactical slugs. Got 1 3/8 ounces, moving 1,315 feet per second. Roughly boiled down to undefeated home defense record. Cool. These fit good. And they feel like they're snug in there too, like they don't really want to fall out. Alright dudes, honestly, this thing pretty much to me, with my untrained eye, looks cool as hell. I still don't know whether or not, you know, I've got these shells on the front or the back as far as the correct location of the strap is concerned. But for what I'm trying to do with it, hold shells and be able to locate this rifle if I need to be on the move, I think I'm going to be good to go. If there's anything anybody wants to add, obviously the comment section is an open forum, even if it gets rowdy. And I think this is going to be a good place to start for us. Now this is obviously what's going to be fed to the Mossberg. What are we going to be feeding to the actual 12 gauge Zeus and the other air gun in front of us, the AEA Harpoon? Well, we got these air shotgun shells, and basically they're just everything in the projectile end of a shotgun shell with none of the propellant end of a shotgun shell. The key difference between an air gun shotgun and a firearm shotgun is the fact that the propellant is housed inside the air rifle with the air gun, whereas the propellant is housed in the cartridge itself with the firearm. Upon closer inspection, you'll see the actual size-wise spatially, they're pretty close to the same length as far as the business end of it is concerned. This piece here basically makes up most of the shell before propellant. Now, the really cool thing about the fact that they're air guns is they're basically, pea shooters, in the sense that anything you put in the barrel is going to leave the barrel. So you can also use these frangible wax slugs. It's kind of like a shotgun shell made of wax and birdshot. Or the same type of an idea with like a number 4 buck. Cool thing about it is, with the Zeus, all you have to do is spin that removable choke off the end of it, and you're ready to go ahead and shoot slugs. Like big ass slugs, monster slugs, 1082 grains. So that is one versatile difference that the Zeus brings to the table that the Mossberg might not be as suited for. The ability to go directly to a slug-based ammo and put any animal on the North American continent dead in its tracks exists with the AEA Zeus. The Harpoon is going to use those same air shot shells, but it's going to use them in conjunction with these cartridges here. Basically, this adapter sits on the business end of the cartridge itself and just seats the shotgun shell itself inside of the end of the cartridge. You're now ready to go. And this black section here would have an O-ring seal inside the barrel. This is a dummy round, guys. What a dummy round allows you to basically do is it gives you the ability to run and function and cycle the weapon without actually having the possibility of a live round go off. These are inert, they're roughly the same weight and exactly the same size as a 2 3/4 inch standard shotgun shell, and they do allow you to go ahead and familiarize without the inherent danger of a negligent discharge. You don't get second chances with 12 gauge. There's a reason it's got an undefeated home defense record, is because it only takes 1 shot. So definitely something to go ahead and always take the extra time to be careful and be safe with. But inside of that, safety is based on education, which we can gain through these dummy rounds. So basically, it's got this opening on the bottom of the receiver here with a tubular magazine right below the barrel. Let's go ahead and check out how to load it. Just take my shell, I slide it in, and it locks in place. And I'm going to be able to do that a few times. I'll go ahead and give you a different angle here. This tubular magazine will take 5 rounds. That's all she wrote right there. Yeah, that's all she wrote. That's 5. So how we would get the +1 out of it would be, at this point, I would, only doing it upside down so you can see what's happening here. Pump the gun. Oh, I guess they fall out if it's upside down. All right, take 2. So I pump the gun. You can see one's coming up into place there. And then I go forward with it, and it goes directly into the barrel. Gun's now hot, it's ready to go. I could flip the gun over with 1 in the breech and 4 in the magazine, and put an extra 1 in the magazine for a total of 6 in the gun, 5 in the magazine, and 1 in the breech. Down a towel real quick so it doesn't make tons of noise when the shell ejects and hits my table. Okay, shell in the breech. Bang. Bang. And you would get 6 rounds out of it just like that. Now, on the very first one, I had to go ahead and push this small pump release up to do it. But every time you squeeze the trigger, you see that pump release goes up on its own. So once I did it the first time, when I rack it and then squeeze the trigger, I am ready to rack it again in the heat of the moment without hitting this little release. I don't fully understand the functionality of exactly what this does, but I think it has to do with double feeding. I know there's been recently a lot of hate in the airgun community about comparing airguns to firearms. It's just too cool. I'm gonna be doing that all episode. But the fact of the matter is ever since Airgun Alley got basically demonized for putting out a shotgun comparative to a Zeus, I knew that we needed to go ahead and, as airgunners, change the meta. I think that instead of shying away from firearm comparisons, it's actually imperative that we show firearm comparisons as the new normal so that good creators like Airgun Alley don't have to bear the brunt of responsibility for somehow quote-unquote destroying the industry. The industry in that sentence translates out to profit margins for companies. So definitely I think that what we have to look at, honest content like Airgun Alleys should be allowed to be honest content, even if it blurs the line between airguns and firearms. All right, guys, I think it's going to be a great place to go ahead and end this episode on the 3 favorite shotguns that I currently have in my collection. If you like this episode, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe for more with that notifications button so that you can stay current on the channel as well as when these videos come out. If you really like what you saw today, make sure you share it so that somebody else can see it. And I'll catch you boys in the next one.